hand signals, Yohan, just to show you how much time you have left, all right? Sound good?
Yeah, thanks. All right. Firstly, I hope you guys are doing well today, the judges and the other entrepreneurs. And today I'm here to ask you a very simple question. Who here values their time? All right, great. And I have to say, as someone who does value their time as well, I've realized that I hate how much time I waste in the mornings. Getting ready, eating my breakfast, there's just so much to do, and in my opinion, so much potential to save time. And one of the places where I think we waste the most time is in making our beds. Doing your sheets, putting it all together, is an unnecessary process that, in my opinion, just has not been affected enough by technology yet. At least not until now. So I'm Yohan, I'm the creator of Attractasheet, and today I'm going to make you find a way to save your time when you make your bed in a way that's quicker, neater, and quieter, and most importantly, just looks a lot more cool than doing it yourself. So can we move on to the next slide, please? Assuming you spend 5 minutes making your bed every day, that is 1.25 days that you have wasted of your life every year in making your bed. 1.25 days of a process that could easily be automated. Not in, if you could go to the next slide, not in a 300-second process of folding, lifting, tucking, and pulling, but instead in a 10-second process that just takes one click. So today, that's what I'm going to show you. Attractasheet, a magnetized accessory that automates bedding. And what's great about it is that I have a demo to show you right now. So if you could move on to the next slide. The way it works is that you place primary and secondary magnets, the male and female magnets as they're called in the industry. So you place the primary magnets inside the mattress with mounting instructions provided in the packaging. The product that I've created uses neodymium magnets, but we're still in the research process of finding out what the most efficient type of magnet is. That's the kind of research that I would dedicate money that I would win in a competition like this towards helping. We attach the second adhesive magnet to the outside of the sheet, and it's as easy as just lining them up and watching them click. And when I say just lining them up and watching them click, I mean it. That's it. And the reason that I emphasize the fact that there's a click is because we've realized that with day-to-day routine processes, there's more to it than just efficiency. There's an element of tactility that the human mind really desires. Any of the human senses, when triggered, makes a product immediately more desirable. Think Febreze. For years, they tried marketing themselves as a way to make your room cleaner and as a way to reduce odors and to sanitize. They didn't do too well when they were doing that. The second they started marketing themselves as a satisfying scent at the end of cleaning your room, as the kind of olfactory reward, that's when they started making the money. And that's because the human mind is simple. It likes satisfaction. It likes validation. And in my opinion, the satisfying click of magnets at the end of making your sheets, of automating such a quick process, is just the kind of psychological trick that we need to make a process like this just so much easier. So if you can move on to the next slide. So I'm going to compare it with a few alternatives. There's a product on the market called Sheet Tucker, and there's a few off-brand iterations of it as well. And along with that, there's a few solutions that use Velcro. You can also just make your bed normally, but as you can see here, there's a few reasons why Attractasheet is able to satisfy certain needs that the others aren't. Now, making a bed traditionally is just as neat as Attractasheet. Maybe it's even a little neater, I'll admit. But it's certainly not quick. As I said, 300 seconds. Now, Sheet Tucker, the product that I actually bought and tested myself. I bought 5 different versions of it. And what I realized from all of them is that they don't work. They're great at tucking your sheets, but they don't actually make the bed. They just slip sheets. And that doesn't work if your mattress is, not already perfectly aligned. And it looks so stupid. I'm not gonna lie, it looks really ugly. The same with Velcro is, Velcro works, but it is jarring to look at on the outside of a bed, and it's not quiet at all. If you're moving around at night, that's going to be scratching away and taking away from your precious sleep. Attractasheet fulfills all of those needs and more. And the great thing about it is that my time?
That is your time. You can keep going, but your
All right,
Q&A time starts
I'll
now.
finish up. And if you could go to the last slide, actually. Yeah, I've got a few more slides in there if you want to ask any questions that relate to those. But for now, this is the marketing plan. Our plan is to go into laundry rooms of colleges, put a poster up that says, just wash your sheets, we'll take it from here, and have a QR code that links people to the product page. So that's my presentation. Thank you, and let me know if you have any questions. I'll have my business card for when we're done.
If our judges want to ask any questions now, this is the perfect time.
Yeah, please.
So if regular traditional process takes 300 seconds, or
Mhm.
minutes?
300 seconds, yeah.
Okay. How long does a attach sheet take?
Could you just go back to the slide with the circles? Yeah, I believe it was slide 3. So as I clarified earlier, yeah, it takes 10 seconds. Now, of course, your mileage may vary on both of those, but this is based on timing myself 10 times over and taking the average time. So 10 seconds.
And you propose a permanent attachment of magnets to the sheets?
I'm glad you asked. I'm not actually, and I should have clarified that. These attachments can be slipped on and off the sheets. The reason for that is that in a washer and dryer, I wouldn't want magnets to stay in the sheets and damage the machine.
And how do you assess the market? How do you break down the market opportunity for this product?
So there's a few ways that I've planned on doing that. This is not simply to say the bedding market is this large and this is the percent I want, because that would not be a fair way to judge it. Instead, what I'm looking at is I've carried out surveys on my campus to see how many students want to reduce the amount of time it takes to make their bed, how many students feel like it's a waste of their time, and how many students would be willing to spend $5 or more and then $10 or more to find a solution for the same. Based on the results that I collected, about 75% of students I spoke to said that they definitely want to find a way to reduce the time it takes, and 50% of students actually said that they would be willing to spend $10 or more, 60% said $5 or more. With that being said, this is not the end of market research. I would want to start using money to produce samples to work to make silicone molds in the venture lab that we have in this building, and then start handing those out as free samples to students and then collecting feedback. So the market research is really at its early stage.
But if you were to just take the numbers the percentages of
Mhm.
the sample that you took today, could you extrapolate to what a market opportunity, even for just the initial college segment, would be?
Right. Of the proportion of students that I've seen thus far, if you extrapolate that to say the colleges in the Northeast, that would be a market of about 150,000 students at least. Of course, with that being said, because the data is at an early stage, since I haven't handed out products yet and this is just a prototype, I wouldn't want to give you data that's too optimistic, but that's the data that I have now.
Awesome. Thank you, Yohan.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for your time. And if you guys want to contact me later, I will leave my business card. Right.
Yeah.
You can just touch it on your phone. Thanks.
Okay.
You didn't
Okay.
mention team. That might have been one of the
Oh,
We had
yeah, no, it's just me. So.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Right.